The YouTube script that I'm going to share with you in this video has generated over 8 figures in sales for my online education business. You can actually take a look at the numbers right here. And I'm so excited to share this with you because it's definitely a bit of a different take on how to use YouTube to actually benefit a business and as an entrepreneur. So if you're excited about that, give this video a like. Be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week. This is the place to be to build a peaceful, purposeful, and profitable online education business. I've helped thousands of people in so many different niches take their skill set, their expertise, and be able to turn it into a highly scalable, profitable, and impactful business that allows them a global reach and to do the work that they truly love. Best first place to start if you're serious about this, I've created a free guide for you on the 10 steps to scale your skill set and 10x your income without trading time for money. You definitely want to go grab that. You can get it for free right now. Nothing to lose. Grab that in the link in the description. So we're going to get into the script in just a second, but before we get there, it's really important to understand some fundamental pieces of why YouTube is such a powerful tool for entrepreneurs and business owners and how to actually make it work for you. So we're going to dig into 3 very specific things before we get into the script. They are how to make YouTube work for your business, the main metric for entrepreneurs and how to use it to your business advantage, and the content that converts best for business. Finally, we'll get into the actual script itself. So first and foremost, let's understand how to make YouTube work for your business. Now, this is a very different ballgame than being a creator on YouTube. When you are an entrepreneur or business owner on YouTube, your main focus is to generate organic, free traffic from your videos to create leads and sales and clients on autopilot and to be discovered by new potential clients every single day without having to put more work in. So you kind of want to think about each video that you create. We call them Evergreen sales machines. Every single video that you create is a little machine that lives out there on its own, can be discovered on YouTube through all the different traffic sources, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and can attract new clients for you completely for free. So it's kind of like free advertising when you do this the right way. Now, how do you do this the right way? I'm a visual learner, so I wanted to share this with you visually so you can better understand truly how the algorithm works and how you can make it work for you as an entrepreneur. So I created this flywheel when it comes to YouTube success for business owners years ago in working with thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs on this platform to leverage the platform to generate leads, clients, and sales on autopilot. And so what it looks like is it starts with knowing your ideal client, which would be your ideal viewer, inside and out. If you create content before knowing who you're trying to serve that content to and who you want to reach, the algorithm is not going to work for you because it won't know really where to put you. So first and foremost, it starts with the ideal client, ideal viewer. From there, you have to make relevant content to that ideal viewer. So when you know who your ideal client is, the content has to be directly relevant to that person. If it's not, you're gonna miss the mark, you're gonna make a lot of content, you're gonna wonder why nothing's working for you, and you're never gonna get seen or discovered by potential clients. So you'll feel like the platform isn't working when really you're not helping it work for you. The next piece of this is when you serve the platform and the algorithm with relevant content to your ideal viewer, the algorithm then knows how to categorize you, which is the really exciting part because then the algorithm starts to work in your favor. So from there, the algorithm's going to categorize your channel and know who you're trying to serve and what you want to be known for, and ultimately use its internal traffic sources, search, suggested, and browse are the main ones, to serve you to more people just like that. That is how this little engine behind the scenes on YouTube works to help you reach more of your perfect ideal clients with a lot less work. Give me a big heck yes if that makes sense for you in the comment section below. Comments are my love language, so I love to know when things are actually landing for people. So the biggest thing when it comes to making YouTube work for your business is you have to remove your obsession or ego around vanity metrics, because sometimes your videos with the smallest number of views are going to generate the best and most targeted quality leads because you're not trying to reach the masses. You're not a channel that needs to reach 1 million people to generate the kinds of clients and the number of clients that you need. So also understanding your key metrics as a business and understanding, okay, how many clients do we need a year? Realistically, how many leads is that? And it's gonna be a lot less than you think. So quality matters so much more than quantity when it comes to views and subscribers and all of those other metrics and vanity metrics on YouTube. So you have to understand that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur on YouTube, it is about accuracy with your content for the right client, so the algorithm can serve you to more of them as opposed to quantity. Number 2, the main metric for entrepreneurs and how to use it to your business advantage. So there are lots of metrics that you can be tracking on YouTube. It's such a great platform in that sense. You have so much data in the back end that you can really leverage, but the most important is retention. Okay, so what retention means is when somebody clicks on your video, how long are they actually watching the video? Because you might notice if you really start to dig into this, people are clicking, but they're dropping off around the 20% duration mark. So 40% and above is actually quite good, industry standard, when it comes to the duration a person will actually watch a YouTube video. So for you, it's really important to understand what your average retention is on your videos, because if it's really, really bad, it means that you're putting too much fluff and too much filler into your intro of your video, which is why we're going to talk about the script in a second to mitigate that. Or it means that your video is just not relevant or congruent with what your title is, and therefore people aren't watching it. And the thing is, if people don't watch your whole video, it's feeding the algorithm with wrong information, and it's saying this video sucks, so we're not going to use our traffic sources. We're not going to drive more people to this video. We don't even really know who it's serving because no one's truly watching it. Okay, so there's so many metrics to pay attention to, but the biggest one as an entrepreneur is retention. The other reason this is so important is because when you know the average retention on your videos, you know where to put call to actions. So what that means is, as you're delivering your information in your video, I'm going to talk about this as we walk through the script, you need to know at what places are you going to get the highest conversions by mentioning your call to action, whether that's to go to your email list, download a freebie, sign up for your program, whatever it is. You need to know exactly where to place it based on the average retention in your videos. Because let's say that people are on average watching 40% of your videos, but you're only mentioning any call to action at 60% through the video. Not as many people are going to see it, therefore you're not going to get as big of a return from that video as you could. Number 3, the content that converts best for your business. This is really important to understand. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about not focusing on vanity metrics, but focusing on the quality of the people that are actually engaging and watching all of your content. So when it comes to understanding the kind of content to create, you want to think about it as bottom of the funnel content. So when you have content on any platform, you kind of have this triangle, right? Starts with the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Top of the content funnel generally is more broad, beginner-based, a little more viral even. Middle is like people who might have an idea of why they need to work with you, but they still need to be warmed up. And then bottom of the funnel content is attracting hot leads. So it's going to be the smallest audience, but the most targeted audience, which means you're not going to get a ton of views necessarily, but the views you do get are going to convert. This is how I've helped so many clients in so many different niches and industries, from baking to real estate to finance to accounting to doctors to spiritual healers to everything in between, turn small-ish channels into highly profitable channels because they're driving so many leads and sales for their business. So when I say bottom of the funnel content, you also need to understand how the traffic sources work. So let me show you another visual that's going to really help you. So I call this the hockey stick growth trajectory when it comes to YouTube. And it starts with search traffic. You need to feed the algorithm with 2 key pieces of information: who you're trying to reach and what you want to be known for. When you do that through content that's hyper-targeted to your ideal client. And so it's things like answering FAQs, topics that are highly relevant to them, solving problems that your ideal client would be looking for the answer for on a platform like Google or YouTube. So really focusing on that content first, because it's feeding the algorithm with the right information of who you're trying to reach and what you want to be known for, so then it can use its traffic sources to serve you to more people. And then it moves into suggesting you to that same audience of people who are watching your first couple videos and to more people like that, to duplicate essentially viewers. So you're starting to grow your audience in a really targeted way. Finally, it starts to work into browse traffic. So once you build a little base or a little army on your channel, then the algorithm starts to push you through browse traffic source to even more of those ideal viewers and clients. And again, this is how the algorithm starts to work in your favor, but you have to know how to use those traffic sources. And the more you focus on bottom of the funnel content, which is hyper relevant content to your ideal clients, and targeting those exact questions or problems that they have. And the more long tail of a keyword used in the title, which I explained thoroughly in other videos. I have a whole playlist on how to use YouTube to grow your business. I'm gonna link to that below. But a long tail keyword means a very specific title. So it's a bit of a longer title as opposed to something generic. So instead of how to train your dog, it would be how to train your aggressive dog without the use of treats, something like that. So it's getting hyper specific and going a little bit longer so you have a narrower focus on the right clients as opposed to trying to go broad. And then you get lost in the sea of content on YouTube, algorithm doesn't know what to do with you, and the channel just goes bust. All right, this brings us to the script itself. So I have tested this script with thousands of people at this point, and it is hands down the highest converting script that you can have when it comes to creating content on YouTube. And truthfully, you can kind of leverage this on any platform. That's the little secret. So it's called the HOT script formula. It stands for hook, outcome, testimonial. So the sequence of events when you're writing a script for YouTube is you have to start with hooking the ideal viewer, because there's so much content on YouTube. If you don't tell people explicitly that they're in the right place and they're going to get what they expect to get out of the video and they click on it, they're gonna tune out and go to something else. So hook them first and foremost. Provide them with a clear outcome that they're going to get from the video that is relevant to the title of the video, because that's why they clicked, okay? So hook them, give them the clear outcome so they know they're in the right spot, and then provide them with some sort of a testimonial or piece of credibility, i.e., my name is Lenarduzzi. I'm the founder of The Authority Accelerator. I've helped thousands of people build their online education businesses like this person, X, Y, and Z, give an example. So same thing goes for you. And if you don't have a ton of credibility or social proof at this point, just say, this is what I do, and I've been studying this for X amount of time, or I've worked with X amount of clients, whatever it may be. So hook, outcome, testimonial. The next pieces of this are you provide sequential steps or pieces of information. It's because you're mainly going to be doing videos with topics around frequently asked questions from your ideal clients or problems that they're facing. You want to have, an order of events in terms of the information you're delivering. So step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. And then in the middle of your script, you want to ask for some sort of call to action. So it either can be an engagement call to action. So it can be, if you're enjoying this, or if this is making sense to you, give me a like, or comment below and let me know what your answer is to this very simple question. So you can get more comments, because the more comments and likes you can get on your videos, the more that it tells the algorithm that people are actually engaging with it and watching it, and it boosts you in terms of traffic sources. The other opportunity for entrepreneurs, which is huge, in the middle of the video, and remember the retention idea, know your average retention and know where to include the call to action so that it's before most people drop off the video or stop watching the video. So you would include a conversion call to action, which is, if you're enjoying this and you want to know more about how to train your aggressive dog without the use of treats, I have a whole masterclass I've created for you on that. Grab that at the link in the description. So you're sending people to some sort of conversion site, whether that's a webinar, an email list, an opt-in, a straight purchase of a program or an offer, whatever it may be. So in the middle of the video, one kind of call to action, really important. Then from there, you continue your steps. And at the end, you do an engagement call to action and a conversion call to action, but reverse the order. So first and foremost, you want to do your conversion call to action again. So the same one that you put in the middle of the video. And you want to say, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this video. That's hitting all of your marks when it comes to feeding the algorithm with the right information, and it's converting your viewers into actual potential clients and taking them from YouTube itself to being a part of an audience that you actually own, which would be part of your email list. So people don't forget about you, and you can continue to nurture them and send them new YouTube videos each week to continue to show up as the authority that they trust and they ultimately will eventually work with. So to review, hook, outcome, testimonial, sequential steps, call to action, conversion or engagement, but mainly focus on conversion for entrepreneurs. Next set of sequential steps. And then finally, 2-time call to action. Conversion call to action first to send them where you want to send them to continue to nurture them or to get them to become a part of your client base. And then finally, engagement call to action. So subscribe, like, comment. So if this is helpful for you, like I said earlier, if you want to take this a step further, I've created an entire guide for you for free on the 10 steps to scale your skill set and 10x your impact without trading time for money. So be sure to grab that at the link in the description. And if this was helpful for you, I want to know. Like I said, comments are my love language. So what was your big light bulb? What was your big takeaway? Was this helpful for you? Even if you just comment below and say helpful, that would be awesome to hear. Be sure to like and be sure to subscribe for new videos every week. See how I follow my own advice? Thank you so much for watching. I have a whole playlist on how to use YouTube to grow your business. Make sure you check out that next. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.